Okay, you're good. We're live.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this beautiful first of spring evening here. And we'll get started. I'd like to call the regular board meeting to order, meeting called at 6:01. Do roll call. Jim Anderson.
Anderson's present.
Yep. Dr. Falvo Lang.
Here.
Maria Higgy.
Present.
Carmelita Smith. I didn't hear Carmelita Smith. I think she's on mute.
I'm sorry, here.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Cindy Sutter.
Here.
And Dan Sutter here. Okay, we'll move to in memoriam. We extend our sincere condolences to the families of the following who have passed away since our last meeting. Dave Richard Thomas. Dave, age 61, passed away Thursday, February 25th. He received services from the SSA department. James Edward Seiler. James, age 65, passed away Friday, March 5th. He received services from the SSA department. William Bill Edward Gross. Bill, age 65, passed away Tuesday, March 16th. He received services from the SSA department. Let's take a moment of silence to honor their life and passing. Okay, thank you. I now need a motion to approve minutes from the regular board meeting held February 23rd.
Hickey moves.
Second.
Smith,
Anderson second.
Yeah, thank you. Any additions, revisions, or corrections? With none, all in favor of approval of the board minutes, meeting minutes, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. No abstentions. The minutes are approved. Now we've got recognition of retirees, and Connie, please do the honors.
I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so this evening we want to thank Cindy Bennett and Debbie Miller, who are retiring in March of 2021. Cindy has been a clerk for the board for 34 years. She was our most tenured clerk, and she worked in investigative services. There's a picture of Cindy with her crew. And then also we want to recognize Debbie Miller. Debbie was a custodian at Southgate Rebecca Stallman School for 20 years. Some fun pictures of Debbie. So we want to express our appreciation and thanks to Cindy and Debbie and wish them many happy years of good health and happiness and thank them for their service. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that and wish them well. Now we go to disability awareness recognitions. This may be the most pleasant, rewarding month of the year. We always look forward to March on recognizing and honoring our ambassadors for this all-important month. And Lisa, will you please do the honors? Lisa, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
There we go. There we
Alright.
go.
I listened.
Okay, good evening. I'm going to start again for all of you because I know you've missed seeing me. Each year, we highlight our March celebration of abilities and acceptance. However, you may not remember that last year at this time, we got interrupted. Last March, you did not get to see our celebration, and instead, we were quickly shifting and learning how to conduct virtual board meetings. And look at us now. But in the midst of shifting and learning how to do things differently, our stories have continued throughout the year. So this year, we've had to do things differently as we have across our community and across our world, but we are still celebrating abilities and awareness. So I would like to highlight for you some of the events and activities we did get to do this year, and then tell you some more stories. So one thing that did still happen this year, though it was done virtually, is the State Advocacy Day down in Columbus. We had invited advocates from across the state, and they hosted a 1-hour virtual meeting, and then they also had virtual meetings with state legislatures. Apparently there was over 500 advocates that tuned in across the state. And I do have the address down here. They did record the 1-hour virtual presentation that can be found on the Facebook page for Ohio DD Awareness. So the next thing that we did on the same day is we had Inclusion Day here in Stark County on March 2nd. And we encouraged everybody on March 2nd to wear orange, an inclusive color. And so you can see some of the many pictures that I got sent to me that day. And it was really wonderful. I have to say that in the last couple of years, we've sold t-shirts and things. But you know what? In the rhyming of Dr. Seuss, this year we said, any hue will do. And so we saw all colors of orange, but it was so inclusive and everybody got to participate. We even counted an orange mask for participating. So the other thing that we did not get to do this past year was our mall walk. You may recall that we have had 2 mall walks over the Belden Village Mall, been very successful, a great event of gathering our community together out there walking with the rest of Stark County. So this year we took our walk on the road, and we literally had a virtual awareness walk. So we had a committee of folks that got together, and we coined the phrase, we are here, to show and encourage people to show us where they are out in the community. And we encourage them to send us pictures. Here's just a few. So we had not only our staff, we had providers, we have had individuals with disabilities out and about in our community, and then they would send me pictures. So I have been posting these on social media, and we have launched a challenge this month, and to have people guess where these community locations are at. And the people that have the most correct guesses, the top 10 people, are going to win a shirt. Guess what? It's orange. And it says, with our slogan, we are here. So we're looking forward to tabulating those winners at the end of the month. And we're going to create a video montage of all the pictures that were sent to us from across the community. So again, we want to thank everybody who participated and sent us your pictures. Just yesterday, we joined the world in celebrating World Down Syndrome Day. And this is celebrated annually on March 21st. And this signifies the uniqueness of the triplication of the 21st chromosome, which causes Down syndrome. So we continued the celebration yesterday on the 22nd with our staff and our community joining the Lots of Socks awareness campaign. And so these are just some of the sock pictures I got. I never knew there could be so many colorful socks. So we have our one of our preschool classes, our students, we had staff, love the bus garage picture, all donning some crazy socks in support of World Down Syndrome Day. We've also worked with some partner agencies. We are part of the Stark Help Central, which is a resource center for our community, and you can see some of the organizations that we partner with. And so 4 times throughout the year, we are posting a blog, and so we did that in recognition of Disability Awareness Month. And again, you will see more of that throughout the year. We had our 31 days of advocacy activities that we posted. Now, we have done this and changing up the activities for the last 2 years. But the thing that we added this year, because social media has had to take such an important part virtually in our lives this year, is we really ramped up the advocacy activities. And each day we have posted a helpful article or a link or a video that supports each one of these 31 activities. So I think it's given parents a lot more resources and information to try and help guide them. So that has been very successful this year. Our annual community report, again, it's our effort to be transparent in everything that we do. So this will come out and appear this Sunday in the Canton Repository and available digitally. So on to our favorite part, where I get to tell the stories. So as you know, and I do it all year long, is we tell stories, our ambassadors, because again, I firmly believe that the way to get to know the vital role that we play in the lives of people with disabilities and their families is to help people get to know our kids. And so we have continued to tell stories, and we have it on our landing page right here that you see on the screen, on a separate page called Our Stories. And right now we have more than 30 stories that we have collected about our ambassadors, our providers, some of our employees, and those stories are going to continue. So right now I want to start by introducing our March ambassadors. Just to remind you that we introduce our March ambassadors in a very big way. We have 10 community billboards around the county. They appear both in print and digital in the Canton Repository and the Alliance Review community, on the radio at WKSU, on air, and with digital advertising. We're on social media, both Facebook and Instagram. And then, as I said, our stories are permanently housed on our website on our stories page. So here's our billboards of our ambassadors. Again, there is 2 for each of them, 10 around the county. And again, I love to hear people say, hey, I saw one of your billboards. Hey, I saw 2 of them today. So it's really a great feeling. They are scattered out all over. I try to put at least one of the ambassadors' billboards in their neighborhood where their friends and family will get to see them. And then they have the second one somewhere else in the community. So I hope the families have had a chance to find them. So I wanted to start out and meet our first friend, Kylan. He receives early intervention services, and he kicked us off for the month. He is 1 year old and just a little spitfire. And so we've had a great time getting to know him and his story. Next, we introduce the community to our twins, Gemma and Lila. And again, another amazing story. Next, we have Victoria, my beautiful lady in pink. And she attends our Southgate School and has, again, a wonderful story and a wonderful family support also behind her. Next, we have Lucas Murphy, and he is our wildcat from the Canton South area. Goes to the public school, and again, a wonderful story and how transition services are helping him prepare for adulthood. And our 5th ambassador is Julie James, and she represents our adulthood. Again, a very wonderful story, has been with Stark DD since preschool. And this lovely 30-year-old, Dad says she was a challenge to get her picture done, but she looks wonderful, and we are so thrilled to have her as one of our ambassadors. So tonight, as we do things differently, you may remember I usually am able to invite the families in to talk with you directly, but we are able to have some of the families online with us. So we're going to quit sharing our screen right now, and we're going to just let the families say hello for a few minutes. I don't think I see Kylan's family on. So next, I'm going to introduce you to Lana Schroeder. And Steve was there. Did he step out, Lana? It's all right. You're okay. So Lana, just make sure you unmute. And Lana is the mother of our adorable twins, Gemma and Lila, who attend our Eastgate preschool program.
Hi, thanks for having me. Every time we pass any billboard now, Gemma says, "Look, it's me and Sissy on the big cardboard." So they're really excited to see their picture, and my dad printed it out, like all of the articles and everything, and has them laminated and sent around the country to our family.
Well,
We're
thank
very
you.
excited.
How are the girls doing?
They're doing good. It's bath time, so I think that's where he just ran off to. Yeah,
Understand.
everything's been really good.
Okay, well, we again are so thankful for you sharing your daughters with us, telling your story. Again, it is an amazing story. And one special thing on her story is a podcast that Lana has done sharing her family's story. So that is linked on their story. And if you have a chance to listen to it, you really should. So thank you again, Lana. I really appreciate you sharing the girls with us.
Thank you.
Next, we have on with us lovely Victoria, and she is here with Kevin. Hi, Kevin.
Hello, how's everybody?
Good. How are you? Hi, Victoria. How are you? You look beautiful.
So,
Thanks for getting on tonight, Kevin.
oh, no problem. Thank you. Everything was amazing. We loved it, everything. It was very blessing to tell her story and what she's been through. But it's a challenge, but it's a challenge that we're overcoming and we're getting through it.
Well, good. Well, we can't thank you enough for sharing Victoria with us. And again, that lovely lady in pink. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and next, I don't think I see the Murphy family on. They were going to try and get on, but I don't think they can. So we have here in person our last parent. Ready? Mr. Craig James is here to talk about his daughter, Julie.
Hello. First of all, I wanted to let everybody know that Julie, along with me and the rest of her family, are very humbled by this honor. I knew this sort of thing might happen someday, and today is here. A lot of the board members, I've probably met you guys in the past.
Yep.
And I just wanted to let you guys know just how thankful I am, Julie is, and her family about all the support that we've been receiving and help for almost 3 decades now. 3 decades. You know, in the beginning at Eastgate and stuff, we got through Eastgate, and staff and the teachers there helped us along with physical therapy and helping us out with figuring out what's going on with her, for starters. She moved on from Eastgate to Southgate and did the full gamut at Southgate, and it was really a lot of fun to see her graduate. I think Bill remembers that well also. So the main thing is I just wanted to thank everybody and thank you for the support. When I first got involved with the board, say 32 years ago, I had no idea how important the services would be to me and my family and Julie. So thank you guys very much for all your help and hopefully your continued support with Julie and all the other just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that the board serves. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Craig, very much. Again, thank all of you, and a few of you folks may recognize Craig because he is dubbed the board photographer. And so not only is he a parent, but he captures some of the most delightful photographs of our kids. And so I can't thank him enough for the extra effort he goes through to capture their personalities. And so again, thank you very much. Thank you, families, for sharing your stories with us. Board, I hope you get a chance to go on the website if you haven't had a chance to read some of their stories, or on Facebook. Really some very, very wonderful things. And it, again, tells the community exactly the vital role that we play in our community for our families. Okay. Any questions? All right. With that, families, thank you very much. If you need to get to bath time or get to dinner, have at it. Again, thank you so very much for joining us.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Thank you, Lisa. That's a very, very enjoyable presentation. We'll now entertain anyone for public speaks. Anybody there? No? Okay, we'll move on. Go to the President's report. Good afternoon again. And thank you again, Lisa, for that ambassador's report. And thank you for the families for sharing their stories with us. And I know I enjoyed looking at their stories in the repository every day. And that always brightens my day when I see that. With regards to COVID, I just want to recognize it's now been a year since we've been under this pandemic. It's nice to see the numbers in Stark County decreasing. But it's just as important for us to stay vigilant. My wife, Beth, and I were able to get our first vaccine shots, and it's amazing the sense of optimism we have receiving it. And like a lot of people, we called it our eventual freedom shot. So looking forward to that second shot. So we are learning that the American Rescue Act will provide additional support for people we serve as funding pilot initiatives to the tune of $200 million for Ohio. This legislation is also increasing our already enhanced FMAP, that's Federal Medicaid Assistance Percentage, from 6.2% to 10% for the period of April 1st through March 31st, 2022. I'm sure Lee and Bill will be sharing positive impact that this money can bring into Stark County. For the next month, we'll be having an abbreviated meeting, and then we'll have our second board in service session. So with that, I conclude the President's report. We'll now give attention to Bill and the Superintendent's report. Bill, I think you're on mute.
Greetings, and I hope you all are well tonight. We always consider March as a celebration, and it's affirming to see our ambassadors and families participate. They represent who we are and what we do as we attempt to come alongside them. Tonight, we'd like to take a step back and look at the big picture as a part of the superintendent's report. We have a new mission, which better defines what we do and who we are. Supporting choices and creating opportunities for people with disabilities and their families. I personally did not see our mission ever changing from what it was, supporting people with disabilities and their families, but I am so glad that it did. The influence of the feedback we received from our stakeholders and the input from the Strategic Plan Steering Committee forged this change. We were pressed over and over again to define what we do and how we do it. And that's how our mission really just was enhanced. Our values, they still remain the same. Our values are the filter we must run every decision through. And they are choice. We believe people have the right to choose how they'll live their lives, where they'll live, and with whom. Opportunity, natural supports, and available resources enable people to realize their choices. Next is dignity and respect. We believe inclusion begins with a core belief that everyone deserves dignity and respect. Dignity and respect focuses on the significance and the value of every person as unique. We show our commitment to upholding the people's dignity by the ways in which we treat them, fairly, truthfully, and with care and compassion. We respect others' views and choices and decisions and do not make assumptions about what people want, like, or how they want to be treated. Our next value is accountability. In fulfilling our mission, we will conduct ourselves in a manner that is responsible and answerable to people with disabilities, their families, and to the Stark County community. Stewardship. We're responsible for the planning and management of resources entrusted to the board in order to connect as many people with the services and supports they need. We value the services and supports that respond to the public need by adhering to what we do best and ensuring that we're using public resources in an efficient and effective way. And finally, our final value is integrity. We choose to be honest, trustworthy, and ethical in all that we do. I thought tonight it would be good to take a step back and look at our landscape, look at the big picture of why we do what we do as we celebrate Disability Awareness Month. So who are we? We are many vital supports. We're a funder of services. We're a planner of services and supports, and the single point of accountability as we are the mandated writer of each person's individual service plan. We're a monitor of services to make sure people are getting the services they need and want. This includes our SSA, RNQA, and provider compliance and support functions. We are an investigator of incidents that adversely affect health and safety. This is our investigative services department. We're here to support our vast provider community made up of over 125 agencies and 120 independent providers. We are early intervention. We are there with families, teaching them how to support their son or daughter to the tune of 300 families a month. We are a preschool, supporting over 65 preschoolers in an integrated way. We're a school-age program supporting 98 students. And we're our transportation program as well. We are building and grounds, human resources, information technology, and finance. We are all of these things, and they must be working in synchronicity as a team. And we must be learning together to make sure that people we support are getting what they need. And that's our aim every single day, to make sure that the people we serve are safe and get what they want and need. So as we celebrate Disability Awareness Month, and we really piggyback off of the ambassadors in the presentation Lisa gave us and gives us every year, it is, I think, important, we think it's important to look at our mission, to look at our values as we go forward and keep them at the forefront of our mind as we implement a new strategic plan. So with that, I conclude the superintendent's report. If there are no questions.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we've got our committee and department reports are in our board packets. Are there any additions or deletions that need to be made at this time? With none, moving on, we do not have any old business or new business. So at this time, we'll have a review of policies slated for first reading, and Connie Bolton will present these.
Good evening again. Policy 2.33, independent service providers, was reviewed with no changes. Policy 2.34, competitive bidding, was also reviewed with no changes, as were policies 3.02, dangerous weapons and firearms, policy 4.34, collective bargaining agreements, and policy 5.11, anti-harassment, anti-intimidation, anti-bullying in schools. Policy 5.27, preschool transitions, did have two minor changes. The preschool program was identified in the policy, and early Head Start and Head Start agencies were added to the policy as possible partners to our DD early childhood staff. Policy 6.04, data classification, and policy 6.07, guest access, were also reviewed with no changes. And finally, policy 6.08, IT incident response, did have two minor revisions. We added the term ransomware, which is malware, to the policy, and also a sentence was added that states that steps should be taken to help mitigate security-related incidents from happening. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Connie. And now move to the resolutions. Resolution 03-1121 approves board expenditures for February 2021. I need a motion.
Hickey moves.
In a second.
Bubba Lang seconds.
Thank you. And we've got discussion from Lee.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. So during the month of February, we incurred $128,000 in local revenues. We had $228,000 in state revenue and $891,000 in federal, giving us total revenue for the month of $1.24 million. I really won't go over year-to-dates, but just note that some of those variants are just mainly due to timing and when that revenue was received as compared to this time last year. Looking at our expenditures, we had two payrolls during the month of $1.29 million, total benefits paid of $687,000, and total other expenses of $4.4 million. Please note that we did pay a waiver match and administrative fees during the month of just under $4.1 million. I'm not going to go into detail regarding the variance here either, but you'll see due to the EF map, we'll continue to see that decrease in waiver match as we continue to see that savings due to the increase in the enhanced rate. So looking at our year-to-date cash, we started the year with $53.6 million. As of the end of February, we had $46.9 million in cash. We carried over $1.1 million in 2020 purchase orders, giving us actual cash of $52.4 million. We have $11.6 million outstanding in 2021 purchase orders, and then taking into consideration the negative financial position of $6.6 million gives us ending unencumbered cash at the end of February of $34.18 million. Looking briefly at the budget versus actual, just focusing on the year-to-dates, we've received $2.39 million, which is about 4.5% of what we expect to receive this year. We've spent 8.9 million, which is about 17%. So we're pretty much on target for expenditures as of right now. And then over on the far right, we have a remaining budget balance of 32.2 million, mainly made up of waiver match that has not been obligated on a purchase order yet, and also payroll expenditures. Looking at our 2020 purchase orders that we carried over. So we carried over 1.14 million. Year to date at the end of February, we've paid 251,000 off of those prior year purchase orders. We've canceled 405,000 and still have a remaining balance of 484,000 of 2020 purchase orders. Looking at resolution 31121, you can see our two payrolls broken down here in February. We did have the non-rep increase in that second pay of February, I will note. And then our non-payroll breakdown by week, you can see obviously in that first week where we paid the waiver match. There are no questions regarding this resolution or any of the reports. I'm requesting approval of resolution 31121.
Okay, thank you. All in favor of the resolution, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. No abstentions. Financials for February are approved. Resolution 03-12-21 approves the transfer funds to Neon for capital housing. I need a motion and a second, please.
Baba Lang moves.
Carmelita Smith, second.
And discussion from Lee.
Thank you. So we saw a couple of these resolutions during 2020. This is to pay back Neon for capital assistance funds that was fronted through Neon in the amount of $27,898 to Hope Homes. So this is just another project that they had toward the end of the year where we fronted that money. We're waiting on the money to come from DODD to reimburse us, and then we will transfer that $27,898 back to Neon. If there are no questions, requesting approval of resolution 31221.
Thank you. All in favor of the resolution, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. No abstentions. Resolution is approved. Resolution 03-13-21 approves the 2021-2022 program calendars. I need a motion and a second, please.
Peggy moves. Anderson motions.
Thank you. And discussion from Connie.
As we do each year, we are presenting the 2021-2022 program calendars to you for approval. The calendars have been reviewed by both unions, which is in compliance with our labor contracts. The preschool calendars for Eastgate and Taft and the school age calendars for Southgate and Avondale comply with the hours required by the Ohio Department of Education and are also in compliance with the staff workdays that are stated in the labor contracts. Also, the required number of service days for early intervention are in compliance with the regulations and are listed on the administrative calendar. The resolution also states that if we also have the right to amend the calendars due to unforeseen circumstances, such as excessive bad weather days or even a pandemic. So, any questions?
No questions. Thank you. All in favor of the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? None being, the resolution is approved. Moving on to second reading of board policies presented at the January board meeting or February board meeting will be presented by Connie.
Policy 2.13, Family Support Services, was revised. A short phrase was added to the policy to state that an individual or family member can be reimbursed for expenses incurred. Policy 3.01, Safety Program, was also revised. Language was added to the policy which references that assessing and evaluating security practices and procedures is also a responsibility of the Administrative Safety Committee. Policy 3.09, Photography Documenting Injuries of Individuals, was reviewed with no changes. Policy 4.12, personal days, was revised. The policy now includes that a personal day is awarded to those employees who successfully complete the annual wellness program, and also to employees who achieve a service milestone. And those service milestones are recognized at each 5-year increment. Personal days awarded for wellness or years of service are not eligible for payout. And then policies 4.17, policy 5.10, 5.22, 6.11, and 6.22 were all reviewed with no changes recommended. Thank you.
Okay, that brings us to resolution 03-1421, providing approval for board policies presented for second reading. I need a motion.
Smith motions.
In a second.
Pava Lang seconds.
Any further discussion? With none, all in favor of the resolution, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. No abstentions. Board policies for second readings are approved. Okay, now need a motion to adjourn in a second.
Higgy moves.
Anderson seconds.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say
Aye.
nay. No abstentions. We are adjourned at 6:42. Okay, thank you, everyone, and have a great month. Enjoy this good weather.
Thank